Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch of Crime Talk. I am coming to you in the wee hours of the morning in an undisclosed location in the state of Colorado where I am conducting a homicide trial. But I wanted to bring to you the Chris Watts jail interviews that the FBI, Colorado Bureau of Investigations, and the Frederick Police Department conducted with Chris Watts to try and gain more insight into his heinous crimes. I appreciate you watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And if you have a comment about something Mr. Watts says, please leave a comment and we will talk about it.
Shoot, he's coming. He's like, hey, Chris.
Chris?
Do you remember us?
Yes. Yes.
See?
Okay. I see it. I just took a moment there.
You
Good
look
to see
so
you.
different.
They, get the haircut every 2 months, so I just told them just to buzz pretty much everything off and all that, so.
I'm trying to think, did you have a
Yes,
tea last time? Okay.
they have like a little single blade razor, so I just kind of, you don't like go past the stubble, you just kind of,
Just do the best you can, huh?
you just gotta go with that.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm okay, how about you guys?
Good.
Good.
I did not expect to see this, that's for sure.
Surprised.
Yes.
Well, let me put some fears aside. We're not here for what you might think we might be here for.
Well, they didn't know what that's a computer room. I was like, I didn't know we had a computer room.
Without computers.
Exactly.
So you remember, I talked to you, Tammy talked to you, Dave talked to you. We're all from Colorado. And so the last time we talked to you was a different situation, right? Our investigation was open and your case was open. That's completely different now. So your case is completely closed. Nothing about what we're going to talk about today has anything to do with an open investigation. So we're not here to get more charges on you or get any statements from you that are going to jam you up anymore, right? That's all done. So all of our cases are closed and the court case is closed. So there's nothing that we're going to talk about today that's going to get you in any type of more trouble at all. And so I wanted to make sure you knew that's not why we're here.
Okay.
But why we are here. So the three of us work from three different agencies, right? Quite a bit different. CBI, FBI, and Frederick PD. Different goals. And the things that happened with you kind of all brought us together. And as the months have passed on since everything happened, we just keep in touch with each other and we keep talking to each other. And we've all separately kind of said, did Chris seem unique to you? Me and Tammy have talked about this, Dave and I have talked about this. Did Chris's situation seem different to you? And we keep having that conversation. We can't quite put our finger on it, right? We think that your life leading up to all of the things that happened were very interesting to us. And for me personally, I don't know if you remember, but one of the last things you told me was, hey Graham, I'm sorry that I started lying to you. And that stuck with me for the last couple months. It's been ringing in my head, right? I've never ever worked a case like this where someone told me that ever, and so as I walked away I thought, Chris is different, Chris is a little bit unique in that regard. So in talking with Tammy and talking with Dave, I said, what did you feel like when it all went down? When we were there, when we were talking to you guys, and we all kind of, in our own different way and in our own different wording, said it all happened a bit too quick for us, right? So when we saw you last, we were talking and talking and talking about your family, about your parents, about everyone. And then the next thing you know, for me and Tammy and for Dave, all of a sudden some patrol officers came in and arrested you. And that was far quicker than we had hoped it would happen. And you understand why that happened, and we understand why that happened. But it left us with 1,000 questions that we didn't get to ask. And then even more importantly, I think it probably left you with 1,000 things that you didn't get to talk about with us. I don't know if you feel that way or not, but, and so that's why we're here today. We wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit more about everything. You know, I think there's a lot of things that you get to talk about, and so, you know, that's why we're here. And it sticks with me that to this day, there's not one person that's told me, I saw it coming. I knew Chris was like that. I knew it. Not one person. So it's just, it's interesting to me, right? Not one. So we want to talk a little bit about that. Some of the people that we work with, your family, Shanann's family, have said, you know, if you get to talk to Chris, would you tell him some things for me? So we have that to talk about today, and it's good. I think you'll like it. I think it will give you some closure. And so really that's why we're here. Are you available to talk to us?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So off the bat, if you have any questions, just tell us.
Okay.
If there's something that you don't want to talk about, that's okay. We might press you a little bit. Okay, we might say, well, do you mind if we just maybe then ask one question? If something makes you uncomfortable, just tell us. If we need to take any bathroom breaks, we can take bathroom breaks. You know, for anything like that. And we'll take bathroom breaks and water breaks ourselves too. So then, is there anything about your schedule today that makes it that you can't talk to us?
No, there was like a pass for this and the AM and the PM.
Okay.
Yeah, they reserved the room the whole day,
Oh,
just
okay.
in case.
That's just what they do.
Okay, I didn't know if that was like two separate things or something.
I think you have to go back for lunch to get counted for or something.
Oh.
Accounted for.
Yeah, I think
11:30.
lunch is like 11, but the count is like 12:15. So
Okay. So in general, how is it here?
it's a lot different in Colorado.
Was it?
It's
Good or bad?
It's better, I think, because I mean, it's here. I'm actually around other people. I mean, in Colorado, it was just like I was segregated, and it was like pounding on the walls all night, screaming, and just just telling me
From other people?
Oh,
Really?
they're just telling me like how I should kill myself and like what they're gonna do to me and just like all that kind of stuff. So
Oh.
it was today. This is a lot different because I mean, people here don't seem to. It's not like they don't care, but it's just kind of like they don't like judge you as soon as you walk in. Colorado was like they knew why I was there and that was it. They were just like if they had 1 second alone with me, it would have been
Really?
they would,
Gee, man. Must be out then.
out of like what kind of jail. I don't know what it was like in DOC there, but they had to lock down the jail for me to walk down the hallway.
Wow. It will? So they had to make sure you were completely separated from anyone else. Jeez.
Wow.
Like I didn't see anybody else there. Like I was in the cell next to somebody, but like I never saw them.
You just hear them.
How do they know who you were?
I don't know. I just they make phone calls in there too.
Oh, okay.
And they got the newspaper in there before I got in there. So
Yeah. Have you been able to talk with family
oh
members?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we get from 6 p.m. to 7:30. That's our on my unit's timeout. So we get to use the phone at that point in time.
Really?
Mhm.
And do they charge you for it, or?
Oh, it's just like it's like Securus or something.
Okay. And how do you make money to pay for that?
They put money on the phone.
Oh.
So if I call, like if I was like to dial somebody's number, they have to have like a phone account set up.
Oh,
Otherwise,
I
it's
gotcha.
just restricted.
And then so who you call pays for it?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Have you been able to talk to like family members and parents and all
Yeah,
that?
my mom and dad, my sister.
Okay. Good. Is that a good thing?
That's a good thing. Definitely.
Good, man.
Yeah, they don't hear from me. They're like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's going
Oh,
on?"
good.
Yeah.
And how was it with them?
And so far, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It was hard to hear your parents at sentencing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And so, yeah. I really appreciated what they said. I don't know about you.
I definitely it was. I didn't expect them to be there. I knew they were there on the 6th, on November 6th, but I didn't expect them to fly back, and they
Oh.
wanted to fly back for that. So.
Yeah. And then a lot what your mom said.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okay. Good. Well, so we have 1,000 questions. I'm sure you do too. Do you care if we start, or do you have any questions for us?
Go ahead. We'll start.
All right. So one of the things that we're battling with is, and I won't make any assumptions today. So, are you aware that this was a national story?
After a little while, I didn't talk to my parents while I was in Colorado.
Okay.
Because, I mean, my attorney team told me, all right, no phone calls, no letters, no nothing.
Okay.
So, like, I made one phone call when I was in the segregation area there, but my dad thought it was, like, somebody, like a news, somebody trying to call.
Oh.
because
So
it
he
was
didn't
Colorado
answer?
number. Yeah, so he didn't answer, but other than that,
Okay.
I didn't talk to anybody, but from what some of the deputies were saying that, or my attorney team coming in and said, this is like, they've got people from Australia, England, and all kinds of people trying to figure out what's going on. So,
Did they send you any of the letters, like fan mail or anything? Well,
I got letters, but I couldn't keep them
okay.
like with me, so like I could read them like on my hour out. But it's like I got a bunch of just letters that had no return address and stuff that was just not very good letters.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. They came from a weird perspective, didn't they? From what we have heard.
Definitely, there was one person I guess from Broomfield that was like writing like 4 times a week trying to come visit me, and then there was just a lot of people like writing out like bleed through markers saying like you're a monster, or, all kinds of crazy stuff.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about some hard issues today, but I don't intend to take you to a dark place today.
Okay.
I hope that when we're done, you'll feel better. I hope it'll be therapeutic. We're going to talk about, obviously, what happened with your family, and so that's going to be hard to talk about. I appreciate anything you can tell me about it. If you need to take time out, if you need to get a tissue, that's fine, right? I think it'll be very good for you. It'll be good for us. And so one of the reasons I asked about that national attention is we were aware that you were getting a lot of letters, a lot of interest, and then us personally as law enforcement, we got so many people who claim to have known you, claim to have been with you, dated you, slept with you, and 99 times out of 100 they were just crazy people, right? And so maybe that's a good place to start. Had you heard about any of that?
John Walsh, he told me about some dude from Wyoming.
Yeah.
Trent?
Yeah,
Trent.
that guy. That blew my mind. I was like, who the hell is this guy?
And who told you about that?
Attorney John Walsh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we talk about him?
Yes.
Graham and I interviewed him.
You had to?
A waste of our lives.
Yes.
So Trent, in summary, Trent came in and said, met you online on a dating app, had a few, casual but quick sexual encounters with you. And let me be very clear. Not only are we not here to jam you up today, we're also not here to judge you. And if there is anything like that, you can imagine we've heard way worse, way different, So if it's true, I hope that you can just casually say, yeah, I mean, this happened. It wasn't as bad as he said, but maybe this happened. So his story was met online, met you, and it was a time when you were experimenting with maybe men. And so he said he met a couple times, met his friends, went to an apartment, had a couple of meetings in a parking lot, and then that was basically it. Does any of that sound familiar? Okay.
No, I never met the guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he talked about being in your truck with your girls, like the whole 9 yards. So.
Okay. All right.
I've never even been to Wyoming, let alone
Okay.
driven up there to see somebody.
Yeah. And so this is maybe a weird question for you. Do you have any gay experience?
No.
Okay. Any interest?
No.
Okay. Never had a time experimented, wondered?
No.
Okay. Is it possible that he found you instead of you finding him?
From what John told me, to find me on like a WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I don't even have that app.
Okay.
You had my phone, so
Okay.
you could probably,
Yeah, we know.
you could probably saw what app I had. But I've never even heard of the app, but
Okay.
apparently, like, he told me, like, I met him through, like, a rehab center or something.
Is that what he said?
No, that was another guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally, I had no idea.
So did you see a picture of him on the news or anything?
John showed me a picture of him.
Okay.
He was like, well, this guy, I'm like, John was kind of, making fun of, like, you know him? Sure. I'm like, no.
So you saw it and you were like, no way.
Yeah, I was just
Big
like-
lips. Did you see his giant
Yeah,
lips?
I was just like, I have no clue who this guy is.
And he's somewhat memorable.
Yeah.
If you met him or talked to him or got to know him, you might remember. He was kind of meek,
Yeah.
but also a little bit flamboyant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did fake lip, or not fake lips, but injections.
Uh-huh.
He was very into skincare and makeup. And he mentioned that one of the times, just as a gift, you got him some skincare products.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of that sound familiar?
No.
Okay. You can imagine all the stuff we're dealing with. Okay, so that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Bolds. There was another gal that you were dealing with.
Amanda McMahon. Have you ever heard that name? No.
John showed me a picture of her.
Okay.
Oh, you did see a picture of her too?
Yeah, he had like. Yeah, that's the same.
True
Yeah,
side.
it's,
Does that look familiar?
that's the same picture he showed me on the
Okay.
MSO one time. I was looking, I was like, who's that? He's like, oh, you don't know her either?
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
He said it was like a Chick-fil-A parking lot rendezvous or something.
Right.
And that's just not true.
That's what she's
No.
claiming.
Okay.
Only one been one Chick-fil-A in Colorado. That was the one in Broomfield, Highway 7.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable enough today to tell us if there were other people?
Yeah, it was just Nicole.
Okay.
Guess.
And that was it?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
it.
As these people have come out, for the most part, we've not given their stories much credit. They're just crazy people who want attention. And so, but when that does happen, it does make us think, there may have been others. And so Nicole was the only one.
That was the only one.
Was there ever like a one-night stand with someone else just out of the blue and one and done?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you mind if we talk a little bit more about Nicole?
That's fine.
Okay, so walk me through it, because that was one of the things we never really got to ask you about.
Right, we didn't
We just
talk
kind of
about
skipped
that.
on and talked about where the girls were, but so what happened there?
So it was probably around June 1st or something. That's when I first met her. And it was just like a work conversation. She messed with the gas meters that, we were out in the field. And I was messing up, and then, I took it to her like, hey, what's going on with this? Like, how do I fix it? And, after that, we just ran into each other a few times in the office. And I think it was probably the fourth time meeting. She had asked me, because like when we were talking back and forth, I would say, like we moved here from Colorado or from North Carolina and stuff like that, and then she's like, "What's all this weed stuff?" I'm like, I took out my phone and showed her a picture, like my girl's on the phone. She's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "So you're doing?" Like, yeah. Like, I didn't wear a ring at work because like I sent it off so I get refitted when I lost all that weight. So, but
You lost so much weight that your fingers lost weight?
yeah, it was literally like I was out in the snow one time. I went like that, and my ring went off on the rocks. So I was just like, I was panicking, trying to find out like, I can't wear this anymore. But so after that, she left me alone for a couple days, and she texted me outside in the field. And then after that, we just kept texting back and forth, and it was just just like like she used to work in a little rig out in North Dakota, I think. And we just kind of trading stories back and forth about what we did and everything. And then one day it just kind of went to a different level, and then I never thought I would ever go to that level. But she was talking about meeting up after we got back from San Diego.
You go to Cheyenne?
Yeah, we go to San Diego from the 22nd to the 26th of June. And we met up after we got back, and
How did you guys meet up?
at a park in Thornton. Thornton somewhere. And after that, we just kept seeing each other pretty much the whole month of July.
So let me ask you this. You tell me if I'm wrong. You strike me as somewhat of a shy person. So when you guys were meeting, was it just kind of very initiatory, like flirting at first? Okay. From both sides?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
just kind of like feeling each other out. It was kind of like,
Yeah. Yeah. And so texts, any calls?
more near the end of June,
Okay. And what makes you remember that it's June that it happened?
because we called each other before I left to go to San Diego.
Oh, okay. All right. At first, did you think something might happen?
I just thought it was just flirting. I didn't think it was actually like something that would actually happen.
Yeah. Well, it's totally natural, right? I mean, everyone kind of flirts at work, right? Because the relationship between men and women is different. So if you're working with a girl at work, it's just kind of natural to flirt. I get it.
I wish I was just out in the field more instead of at the office those that month, but
Yeah. Yeah. I can kind of see it in your eyes. That's kind of where the path started, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, if I was like, because when I went from like a rover to a field coordinator, like I would spend more time in the morning time in the office trying to get everything like situated where we're gonna go, everything like that. And, you know, if I was a rover, I'd be more out in the field, and instead of like coming to the office like for more than an hour.
Right.
It just gave me more time to run into her, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. What did she know about you? Did she know you were married at first?
She did once I showed her the pictures
Yeah.
on the phone.
Yeah.
On the, like, you know, the home screen picture and
Mhm.
everything.
So was your wife in that picture, or was it just your girls?
It was just my girls right there, but my wife was the lock screen.
Oh,
So she knew I was married with my kids.
Okay.
are you aware that she said she didn't know you were married? What
That's
did you
fine.
think about that?
I figured it was like, you know, just trying to save face, trying to, you know, and something my sister said, it was like, just trying to keep things together. Or
Yeah.
just trying, she phrased it a different way, but just kind of like, just like ground control, just trying to control everything that's going on around her, because I'm sure she got bombarded by all kinds of different sides from the media and everything, so. and
Have you
friends.
talked to her at all? No.
No. I'm
No.
hoping she hasn't, like, you know, written me in a different alias or something. No, I'm not talking to her that way.
Oh,
And are you not allowed to talk to her?
I would hope not.
Okay. No one told you that then?
No, I mean, I would expect, like, I thought, like, in Colorado, it said, like, on a DOC list, that if you're on, like, a victim list, you can't call anybody.
Oh, right.
But here, I'm not sure if that's the same, but I just talked to my sister, my parents, some friends of my parents.
Okay.
do you wish you could talk to her?
Maybe once, just to
Get some closure?
say, like, hey, you know, just once.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey, like, I'm sorry this all happened. I'm sorry. I'm not sure, like, what happened, like, afterwards, like, what you went through, like, if you had, like, counseling, if you're, like, you know, different state, if you had to leave everything behind. I just wanted to let you know I'm sorry, and that's not something I ever saw in my life happening or happening to somebody else either.
Would you be alright if we told her that?
That's fine.
Do you want us to? Do you want us not to?
And if she would want to even talk to you guys, I mean, I'm not sure if someone contacted her, but I'm sure she'd answer your phone call more than an attorney phone call that she didn't want to call answer.
Yeah.
Oh, so your attorney tried to call her and she wouldn't answer?
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember her phone number, but after that they figured out, I guess, where she lived. They left a business card there. And she just, pretty much after like the 5th attempt, she said, stop coming around.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's getting bombarded like everyone else, so.
And hopefully it's calmed down since, but I'm sure, like, I just hope she can, like, I don't know if there's, like, normalcy for her, not since she's on the outside, but I'm hoping it can get that way at some point. I'm not sure if she had to leave Colorado or not, but I'm sure, like, that would have been hard if she did.
Mm-hmm.
I know Anadarko was her dream job, so that's one thing I always, like, asked my attorneys is, like, did she have to leave? Like, did she have to do anything at work? Because that was one thing, so she always told me that was her dream job, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What does she mean?
Like in the oil company in Anadarko is, like, you know, I mean, unless you're working for, like, BP or, like, ConocoPhillips or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Anadarko's, like, you know, it's like,
Big leagues.
yeah.
Can I ask kind of a tough question? Did you love her?
I felt like it was true.
Yeah. I think so too. I think it was the same from her. Okay. Tell us about the time you spent with her.
Well, I mean, it felt like it was, you know, I think, like, when you say, like, I was more like a shy guy, it's kind of like I've never, like, been pursued by anybody before. It's kind of like I was the one, you know, trying to pursue, because, like, when me and Shanann met, it was like, you know, she was always, like, pushing me away, kind of like, you know.
She was sick for a while, right?
Oh yeah, she had just got diagnosed with lupus, and she was on, like, a bunch of different medications and stuff, and it was, like, I guess I wasn't her type.
You weren't her type?
I wasn't her type,
Okay.
because, like, she told me, like, when she first, because we had met.
She told you that?
Yeah.
You're not my
Yeah.
type.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, it was like, you know, when we first met, like, it was at a movie theater. And my cousin's ex-wife set us up.
You were dressed like shit, weren't you?
I didn't.
I think that's what you told me.
Yeah, I didn't know like that.
They didn't quite have any games.
So she was fancy and he was in like shorts and
I was in
tennis shoes or
shorts
something,
and
right?
decent shoes and like I should have known the doorman, was in a suit, and I was just like, this isn't good. And like
Was
when
it at the theater?
It was a fancy theater, right?
it was
Kinda?
in Charlotte. It was called the Epicenter, and apparently they give you like champagne and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, this is a fancy date night theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he
Movie
came.
theater.
I think he came like he was going to a
Like I was
Cinemax,
like
like
I was going to a bonfire
like a
or something.
AMC.
Like a play theater?
No, it was like we
Movie
just watched
theater?
a normal movie, but like you can like drink champagne and like
Yeah.
have like get Jack and Coke inside the theater and just
Yeah.
sit there and just whatever. But like yeah, it's when she first saw me, she was like, I should probably just turn and talk to the bartender a little more. Like, no, I'm not here to meet. But yeah, like I was like persistent trying to pursue something. I liked her, and even on our first date, like I couldn't even eat anything really. I was just like,
You're so nervous?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she was just like, chowing down. And she was like, you eat like a bird. I'm like,
Oh, that's
"Oh."
funny.
And she talked to my parents, like, months later. She was like, this guy just never ate. And it's like, this guy eats like a trash disposal. I was like, no, not around me. I was like, well, I'm just nervous. I was just like, I was always like shaking and everything. But yeah, I was always pursuing her, and then just like finally I grew onto her. Like I would always like with her medications and stuff. I would always she had like 8 bottles of medication, so I would always get like her day and nights and kind of like put them all in that little flip open
Pill box.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff, and I would always be around her. I even went to her colonoscopy. She said after that she knew that was like kind of a keeper. It's like who goes to a colonoscopy after 3 months with somebody?
Right.
That's a little soon.
Well, she asked if she needed that ride. I'm like, yeah. She's like, you want to go colonoscopy with me? I'm like, sure, why not? Like even sat with her while she drank that nasty stuff all day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Where she's in the bathroom
that's
all
a good
day.
test.
that clear stuff that doesn't really taste clear. Yeah, but yeah, it was. I mean, it felt like it was a great relationship. Everything was great.
Now you're talking about with Kissinger?
No, with
Or
talking about
what's
Shan,
her name?
and like in the first year, my parents never. I don't know. My mom was always kind of hesitant.
Why?
I was the baby, I guess. I never, I never had a girlfriend in high school, so it's kind of like she never like really saw me like.
Oh, interesting. So she's kind of watching her baby walk out a little bit.
Yeah, because when I turned 18, I graduated. I never moved back
Okay.
at home. So
And
my
how
sister
old-
moved back and forth all the time. So
How old were you when you met Shanann?
I was 25. It was 2010. So
Okay.
So no serious girlfriends before that?
nothing more than like 6 months or so. Yeah, there was some girls here and there, but just nothing more than like the last girlfriend I had before Shanann, she was just actually got divorced, and I should never did that. But it was more of like I was kind of like helping her get through her divorce. It seemed like she went on to somebody else. I'm like, oh, nice to know.
You're the rebound guy?
The rebound guy.
Pretty much, but that's how it goes.
Would you say that in your relationships with women, it seems to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong, it seems to me like you're attracted to maybe a more dominant personality?
It seemed like it because I'm more of the just reserved. I mean, I just kind of like go with the flow type.
Yeah.
And like Shanann usually made all the decisions. It seemed like so.
I get that. I'm the same. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't think that's right with you, but
So then, and I know it's hard to keep bouncing back and forth, but and one of the reasons we're here is we just keep telling ourselves, Grace just does not fit the mold. Grace does not.
no.
Like it just blows us away what happened, right? And so we will do a little bit of bouncing back and forth, and that's really just to get to know you a little bit better, because we never really got that chance, did we? We were
I met you
talking.
twice.
Yeah.
Met you once.
Yeah.
Probably like three. Well, you remember 3 or 4 times probably.
So then do you call her Nikki or Nicole?
I would call her Nikki.
Okay.
I know. there's so many Nickies and Nicoles in this.
Right, there is.
I got confused.
So we'll call her Nikki.
Okay.
So then with Nikki, was it different?
It just seemed like I was more in control. It seemed like, and that never happened. And, like she'd actually like asked me like my opinion on a lot of things and just like what I wanted to do and just kind of like okay.
That was new, wasn't it?
Very new.
Oh, that's fascinating to me. And so did it feel more like an equal partnership or?
It seemed like it.
Yeah. Okay. So then when it was date night, would you guys talk about it? Would you ask to go somewhere or would she say, I want to go somewhere? Was it too fast?
The first time we went out, it was to a movie over at the Orchard, off the 144th over there. And, I asked her, like, hey, you want to go see this movie? And, like, she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. And we got there, it was sold out. And, normally you probably just have, just wait 2 hours, like, just go home. But now she just wanted to walk around and just talk. I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow.
So that was different. And, I think she wanted to go to the car museum, Shelby Museum in Boulder. I'd never been there. And
That's right up your alley. You're a mechanic.
I was just like, that was awesome just to walk around cars for like an hour or so. And then, drag race in Vandermeer.
Okay.
And I haven't been to a drag race since 2008. And that was in Charlotte.
Okay.
It was like they have a 4-lane drag strip over there. And it's like the NHRA, the Top Fuel, and fun car stuff like me and my dad used to grow up.
Yeah.
Go there like all the time. And then like we went camping in Sand Dunes National Park, and I'd never been camping. I always wanted to do it. Thought it was she'd done it like countless times. I
Oh,
guess.
really? Okay.
So,
She's outdoorsy?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's I guess she every time like she needed to clear her head, she'd just go by herself, just go somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she's a completely new type of person and relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What were you thinking this whole time? Like, in the back of your head?
In the back of my head, I was just telling myself, what are you doing? Like, every time, I open up my phone, I can see pictures and, like, of my wife and my kids, and I'm just like, what am I doing? And then, like, every time I was with her, it seemed like I didn't think. It seemed like it was like a blinder that was in my face.
Oh.
And it just, like, every time I look back on it, like, like I have pictures of my wife and kids and myself. And like every night, or every morning, every night, I just, talk to them, say like I have like this book I used to read for CC, and I remember that book, so I read that to them like every night. And like there's some scripture and stuff that I read to them, so I just try to think back, like I wish this never happened. And just like I wish that blinder wasn't on my head, wasn't in my eyes. That would have seen what was going on. Like, I was having, like, everybody says, oh, you're just out there having fun while your kids, or kids and wife are on vacation. I'm just like, no, it wasn't like that, but it seemed like that's what it looked like when you're going, you're going to camping, you're going to drag race, going all this other stuff that you have fun doing, but you're with somebody else. It's not your family. It just didn't seem right. With her, it just didn't seem like I could even see that anymore. Yeah. I was there at her house pretty much every night. So it was like I didn't have that time at home just to really think about anything. Because literally I didn't, like I was only at home from like when I got home from work. I worked out, I ate dinner, and then I went over to her house. Like I never slept in my house in like the whole month of July.
Now, talk me through that though. When you said you went home and then you were at her house, was that while Chanel was gone? Oh, okay. So you weren't even at your house.
No.
This all happened so quickly, didn't it?
It was insane quickly. Like I didn't, like, she even told me like she would never, in like a normal relationship, she would never have somebody over at her house like more than like once or twice a week, but she felt like she wanted me over there.
Yeah.
She said she felt comfortable over there.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's what was different, like she wanted me over there. But I just wish that all that would just go away. I just wish I'd almost like I know it's hard, I know it's wrong to say I wish I'd never met somebody, but I wish I'd, maybe met her at work and then just kept it that way.
I think if we had a time machine, I don't think this would happen again.
Sure.
Because some people, when this happens, you're like, well, if it wasn't this time, it would have been next time, or it would have been the next time. It just wouldn't have happened with you, would it? And it happened so quickly that you tell me if I'm wrong. You're not the type of guy to take control sometimes when you need to.
Yeah,
It seems like that's just what happened.
Yeah, I didn't take control of this situation. It was like the situation controlled me.
Right, it just happened. No, I get that, man. I'm somewhat passive myself, and it's like, there's situations where I'm like, well, why did I let that keep going?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was like a roller coaster ride that I just kept punching and taking on, and I just never knew get up.
Yeah. Can we talk about the hardest subject? So when we were talking, the last time we talked, the last thing we talked about was where the girls were, but we never really got to talk about that night. So what happened?
So nothing really happened that night. It was in the morning.
Okay.
It was, me and Shanann, she got home like at 2 o'clock. And, I felt her get into bed. And I just felt like I didn't feel it. I just made sure I looked at my phone at 2 o'clock and make sure she was okay, she's in there. And I could kind of feel her kind of stirring around a little bit. And I just had a feeling that she knew like what was going on. Because I mean, obviously, I didn't use like an NRCO gift card, that I'd gotten. I'd used my actual credit card, and I kind of just felt like she knew what was going on. And she started rubbing her hand on me, and we ended up having sex. But I guess that was more like a test.
Oh,
I would have thought.
interesting. Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
because when we talked, when I woke up later on in the morning, I pretty much, told her, I didn't think it was going to work anymore. And she was like, what happened? What was last night? So I figured that's what we call it, the test, after I've gone through everything in my head.
That makes sense.
And she just told me, to get off of her. And she was like, I knew there was somebody else, I knew there was somebody else, I knew there was somebody else. And I couldn't just say, yes, there is somebody else, but then she said, you're never going to see the kids again, you're never going to see them again, get off me, don't hurt me. And then,
Is that what you said?
because like when I climbed in bed, that was pretty much like on top, pretty much like straddling her kind of deal.
Okay.
And she thought I was gonna hurt her or her baby or something. So, because she knew that something had happened. She thought I was just trying to just check out or something. So, and that's when that happened.
I know it's hard, but do you mind if we talk just a tiny bit deeper about that? So she comes home, she touches you, you guys have sex, it seems like she's doing her test, which I understand. Sounds like you do too.
I'm sure Nikki or not Nikki, Nicole Atkinson or Cassie probably told her,
That's what I was thinking, right? They talked about it during that whole weekend.
more than likely. That's my parents told me there was going through text messages. It's all pretty much they all kind of just told her he's with somebody else type of deal.
Yeah. And she spent a lot of time with the gals. That's what they did probably all weekend is talk about it, give her advice. I think that's what we found, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she comes home, you guys have sex, and then did you fall asleep between then and going to work?
Yes.
Okay. So then at some point, does she wake you up or is it you waking up for work?
Not a lot of more.
Oh, okay. And you're going to work out.
Mhm.
But then that's when she started wanted to talk more. And she was pretty mad? Okay.
Yeah, it was, I had already kind of knew that, using that credit card, it was
Was that intentional?
Yeah.
I had no other way to do it.
Oh.
I used because I got these Anarco gift cards from doing good stuff at work and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and I had used them all.
Oh. Was part of you just like, screw it, whatever, I don't care. I'm using this card.
I part of me just wants to say, Nikki, can you pay for this? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Even I think from my attorney said she even noticed I used a different card, like a blue card.
Oh.
Maybe she thought, like I felt comfortable enough just using a normal bank account or something. But I told her I was going to Rocky. I told you I was going to Rocky.
Yeah.
And it was just like it felt like like looking back at everything, like just like reading the scripture more and more now, I can see like God gave me opportunities to get out. Like even my friend Jeremy Lindstrom, he even invited me because like it was his daughter that came and watched the kids on that Saturday night, and he was like, "Hey, you said we're going to a Rocky game. You want to go to me with the Bronco game and watch the Arizona Cardinals?" Like in my mind, it was like go, just say, "Hey, I can't find a babysitter." Bye.
To Nikki.
Yeah, and maybe that would have been like like a light switch in my head goes off, light switch in her head goes off, maybe it just like goes different directions. That was kind of like my last like opportunity to kind of get out, it seems like. 'Cause, I wish I would have said, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And I think that would have just put me on a different trajectory.
So then, Shanann, did she actually say you're never going to see the kids again?
She said it to me before.
Yeah. That's kind of hard to hear.
Yeah, because she'd said to me before she went to Arizona. Because like I wasn't really sleeping in the bedroom, I was sleeping on the couch or in the basement bed or something, and like she had slammed the door, "You're never gonna see the kids again." Yeah.
Did she get fiery like that?
Only once in our entire relationship I've ever seen her that way.
Yeah. And that was a time before, or was that on the night that it happened?
No, it was probably back in North Carolina.
Oh.
It was just like one of those. It was just a fiery argument that.
Yeah.
I never raised my voice to her or anything, and I just got mad and I slammed the door, and she was like, "God," I'm like, I should have slammed the door.
Was that when you were in North Carolina that last week?
No, it was like
previous to
this
that.
is like 2010, 2011.
Oh, okay.
It was like early.
Okay.
In her old house.
Before kids?
Yes.
Were you dating or were you married at that point?
Dating.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just like I don't remember what it was about. I think some girl maybe texted me like from my past or something, and like I was just like, "What's this?" And she was like, "Don't have that happen again." And I'm just like, "I can't have friends.
Right.
They're females. Like I don't even talk to this woman anymore."
Right.
And it was just like, nope.
Was she fiery? Did she have that Italian blood that her mom has?
Good Lord, yes.
Was she always like that, or was she? Did she snap at things?
She wouldn't snap at me, but you could tell, like, something really irked her a little bit.
Yeah.
It would come out.
0 to 100 type thing, or what?
0 like 200.
Oh, interesting.
She gets acclimated about something. She's like, all right, it's gonna happen.
Well, that's why she was probably so successful at Thrive, right?
Oh yeah, like she had done a couple other like direct sales business, but this one was just like it was different.
Why?
This one like. Because I think she had done like Origami Owl and like something called like It Works, and then like other couple other things like some bags and stuff like that. With the supplement stuff, but just because it worked with her, it worked with me. She's like, okay, I can kind of like use this as like, all right, this is what it's doing for us.
Yeah.
And then like after a little while, like she could see how like people are above her, how it was helping them, and then it was just like trickle down effect. And it was like a good system about like commission wise and everything was just she could use all the business IQ she has from running those cell phone shops and from the Dirty South custom shops and all that. I mean, she's business minded.
Yeah.
She knows how to do an accounting book like the back of her hand. So it all just like fell into place with all that.
So then on that night, was it just a new type of fight?
It was
Never had, or what? What happened?
Yeah, it was a totally different type of fight. It was like, it was just felt like I don't know, it was more anger than anything else. Like there was emotion to it at first, and then it just felt like it was just anger. It was just like like there was no love there. It was kind of like what we were saying, what she was saying, it was just like, it's almost like we knew like something was combating at each other, and we didn't know, like it wasn't ourselves.
Really?
No.
Anger from you or anger from her?
I think it was more anger from me and more like desperation from her to, because she wanted to fix it.
Yeah.
She knew something wasn't right. Like, you know, like when the whole thing with my parents happened with my parents called it Nutgate.
What happened?
Nutgate.
What's that?
Oh,
With
you're
the peanut.
Oh,
nuts in the
yeah.
bowl or whatnot.
The incident.
Oh, with her family?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Pistachio ice cream or
Yeah.
whatever. it was.
Yeah, they people
Nutgate,
might call it nut.
I haven't heard
I
that.
haven't heard that either.
Yeah, I guess what people are calling it.
Okay.
But that was like another out. Like, you know, maybe I could have just like stopped everything with Nikki and just kind of concentrated on helping like whatever happened there. Because
Okay.
like, Shannon had a story, my mom had a story. Like, I don't, whatever happened, I'd probably ask my 10-year-old nephew. Probably can tell me what actually happened.
Well, and they both have their feelings for good reasons, and they both didn't see it the other person's way. And
Yeah, and like maybe because I didn't talk to my parents from then on until like August 6th, and like, you know, my dad took that whole week off.
you
while I
didn't
was-
talk to your parents from then on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like Shannon was like, do not talk to them, do not call them, do not do anything.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, and Cece's birthday was the 17th, but I think the actual birthday party was like a couple days after,
In August?
July.
July?
Yeah. And like my mom or my dad was gonna go, but then there was like a post on Facebook about, you know, allergies and stuff like that Shannon made, and my dad was like, no, I just can't do it anymore. Just like, because
He perceived that as her taking a shot type thing?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, she always says she never, you know, put those posts directed at anybody, but she had a method.
Like if you read them, you know who she's
Yeah.
talking about.
She had a method to the madness, and you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wish I could have just took more time just to fix that. Because like I wanted my parents to be involved. Like since, you know, like the whole wedding thing, and then up to that, it was like, you know, my mom and my sister were always like, you know, combating with Shannon combating with them. My dad was always cool. Like he's just like me. He's just like, you know, go with the flow. Like I just want everybody to get along type deal.
Chicks,
I
man.
loved your dad.
Ronnie's the best.
Isn't he? I
So-
loved your dad.
I'm sorry, keep going.
That's cool. I just wish I could have, like, just when we were at the beach in August. Like my dad was supposed to take the whole week off just so we could see the kids and like see me, and like we have a cookout at my sister's house or something. And then, but we just pretty much spent 5 days at the beach, and Shannon like booked it so like, you know, I mean, I don't want to say like punishment for them not to see the kids, but like I wanted them to see it, see them. You know, I wish I could have fixed all that. And I even like when I was at the beach, I told Shanann that it was more like what was going on was more like I feel like, you know, because my dad's my hero, I feel like I've lost like something in my life. I haven't been talked to him for 3 weeks. I haven't been to see the kids for 3 weeks, you know, on FaceTime or anything. And I wanted them to be able to have that relationship again. And she was pretty much gung ho, like she tried to kill my daughter by giving her pink. I was like, I don't think she gave it to him.
And that was that her stance? Is that your mom?
Put something in front of Cece.
Like to kill her or
No,
just
just like
Didn't care.
like
Didn't pay attention.
she thinks that allergies and like this state of age is like people think, oh, you'll be
Like it's
fine.
made up
Like
kinda
he'll,
thing?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll just have a rash. He'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Cece, you know, like the first time. Well, I've seen a picture of when he had a cashew the first time. It wasn't good. And then she had kiwi the second time, and then the same thing happened. And I know it's real.
do you know it's serious? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, it wasn't like her throat like closed up, but she broke out in this full body rash that looked really crazy looking, and luckily, like, you know, nothing with her throat like happened. But
So did that make you angry at your mom for doing that?
yeah, I mean, I just like, Mom, you just gotta, I told her you need to think, you need to like, you know, pay attention. Just because another kid can have something doesn't mean another kid can have something. Because like when we were at that birthday party at Jeremy's that Sunday, you know, they had this cake there. Like Bella wanted it so bad. I'm like, can't give it to you because Cece can't have it. She was like, you know, okay. And all the other kids were like, if they can't have the cake, you know. Like I just kind of took them off and gave them some like one of those frozen pops or something. But you know, it's just like she had to learn that just because one kid can have something and there's another kid that can't have it for a legitimate reason, like she couldn't have done it. But you know, that's the kind of talk I had with her when Shannon called me. I think it was maybe like middle of July or something when she told me all this had happened. That's when I called my mom and talked to them for a while, and then they're just like, they just couldn't deal with her anymore. Shanann just kind of like, they like flipped out. My nephew told Bella to go hide behind the curtain because I don't think your mom was going to let you come over here again or something like that.
Oh.
So it got heated.
Oh, it was bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a last straw between them, I think.
Like in the same room or over the phone?
No, they were at
They were
at my
really
mom's
heated.
house, yeah. Because Cece and Bella and my niece and nephew were there.
Okay.
How did Shanann find out about the ice cream thing?
Because Chanel was there, and I guess they were all sitting one of those couches, was kind of like a U, and my niece went into the kitchen, and she knew where the ice cream was. I mean, she'd been there.
So it's not like your mom gave it to her? Like she got her own ice cream?
Yeah, she went in the freezer, got it, went out, and sat beside Cece and started eating.
Oh.
But like, it's just a matter of like Cece could go like
Right.
like that. Now I don't know what would happen if she just got it on her hand.
Right.
But like I know on like the prick test, on the back, it's like a welt.
So were they staying there at your parents' house during that time? 'Cause
Yeah, it was. So they would go from from Sandy and Frank's house
Yeah.
for like a few days or 5 days, and then go to my mom and dad's house
Yeah.
for a couple of days and
Okay.
bounce back and forth.
Okay. So it happened during that time.
Mhm.
They were there, yeah. Okay.
And so there were so many things that happened, weren't there? They just were little tiny ingredients to this
Yeah,
recipe.
nothing like
It's nuts, Chris. I mean, it's just so many things just didn't go your way.
everything was like somebody was stirring a pot, and it was just
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was like. So then, I know I keep bringing it up. Can you walk me through just the last few minutes before Shanann died?
It was pretty much just like I had gotten dressed for work, and then like we started talking.
Did she come to you?
No, I was just right there in bed.
Oh,
I just,
okay.
Yeah, so I was just like I got my blue shirt on and my jeans and everything.
You ready to go?
I was ready to go, and
Was she asleep, or did you have to wake her up to finish your conversation? Or?
I would wake her up because like she got home like 2 o'clock, so she pretty much out of it. But I never knew like if her plane got delayed. Someone always told me like she just like sat around with Nicole and just like talked for a while and then came home or something. I'm not sure if that
Yeah,
was
it
true.
was delayed. Yeah.
But yeah, when she came home and everything, but yeah, like I woke her up to talk to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is that because it was just eating at your brain?
Yeah, like I knew like something like something didn't feel right with me. So I know like she knew. I just knew she knew. I just felt like maybe the kids weren't going to be there when I got home that day.
Oh, interesting. Now, I don't mean to offend, but I have to ask, is that really the truth? Okay.
I really felt like they weren't going to be there when I got home that day.
Oh. And
Like
so,
she would take them somewhere?
No,
Or-
I just felt like either maybe I wouldn't go home, maybe they weren't going to be there, or I wouldn't be allowed in, type of thing.
I think I saw some text messages where Shanann talked about that she would take the kids to another state or something because she wouldn't be able to afford to live in Colorado or something like that. Did she say that kind of stuff to you, or
Yeah.
what did she say about that?
She said she couldn't afford to live in Colorado on her own, and that I told her like, well, I mean, drive. I mean, she pretty much makes the same amount I do,
Yeah.
but she said she wouldn't want to try, just because Colorado just price of living there was a lot higher than North Carolina.
And just so I'm clear, you thought maybe in your mind, you thought maybe she would take the kids somewhere else or like lock you out of the house or.
Or just like I wouldn't want to make a scene like trying like pound on the door trying to get in or anything like that. But like I just felt like that was what I did on Sunday. It was kind of like or Saturday night was kind of like the last straw. Kind of like going out with somebody and using an actual bank account card and just like not trying to hide it at all.
So walk me through it though, because she comes home, she touches you, you guys have sex, you fall asleep, then you wake up for work, all natural, all a normal day's work type thing.
Yeah.
What was it that made you think, I just can't do this anymore, I have to talk to her?
It was eating away at me. Like I
Yeah.
knew like something, and I knew everything that I did. Like I know like when I was with Nikki, it was different. Like I wasn't even like in the realm of I'm a dad, I'm a husband type thing.
Oh,
And then like I was saying, when I'm never at home, like sleeping in my own bed, like I have no like concept of that anymore.
interesting.
'Cause it
So
was
in your
kinda-
mind and heart, you can have moved on.
Like it kind of felt like if I wasn't at home, like I didn't think about it almost, because like if I wasn't sleeping on my own, like I think there was at one point like Nikki had gone to the mountains with her friends for like a few days, like into June, first part of July, and then like that part, obviously I was at home, but like from that whole month of July on, it was like I was never at home. Like I never had all those reminders around me. I never had, like every time my wife would call me, I would be at Nikki's house.
Oh, while she was in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would like, walk outside and talk to her, like when I was next to the car or something like that. But
Uh-huh.
I would never be at home looking, like have all these pictures around me, just being in the same bed, seeing my kids' beds, seeing everything that, that we built for the last 6 years.
And so, did you just want to once and for all get it out in the open?
I just wanted to just tell her how I was feeling at that point in time. Like I didn't feel like me and her were compatible anymore. Honestly, I didn't feel like that because what was going on with Nikki, it was new. It was new.
Right, absolutely.
Anything that's new always feels better than the old.
Yes. And it
You were
makes think
probably
differently
bitten
about
by the love bug.
Yeah,
That's how a lot of therapists talk
unfortunately,
about it. Yeah.
It was just like I never felt that. I mean, even like with new relationships in the past, like it always feels different. Like the first couple weeks, and then but it just with someone Nikki felt different. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just like you said, like I was more in control, and like it was more of like maybe more of me coming out. Because Shanann always said like it always seemed I was more myself around other people, like her cousin Cody, like Cody lived or came up visited us for a little bit while we were in Colorado for a little while, and Cody always talked about like how Chris is so funny, Chris is like Shanann would always like, why are you never like that with me? I'm just like, maybe I always felt nervous around you.
There's only so much oxygen in the room, right? I say this to some people with dominant personalities.
I just always felt nervous. I always felt like I was, I never could actually just, be myself.
Right.
Nikki, I was myself like all the time. It was just different.
Well, and it seems as though, and again, it's hard to talk about, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but it also seems, is it accurate to say that sexually you were able to say, Nikki, this is what I would like, this is what I'm into, or blah, 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 and maybe not what Shanann?
No, Nikki just wanted, she wanted what she wanted. She wanted to do it pretty much all the time. I was just like, okay, that's fine with me.
Okay.
With Shanann, it was just like, kind of like, hey. Sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't. But that wasn't the case as far as that way. It wasn't just like sex or whatnot. But it was mainly, I was just more myself. I could just not think about what I was going to say or plan what I was going to say or not, say something stupid or something. But,
Right.
A little bit of freedom.
Can I ask you something about that morning that you had sex with Shanann? Did you feel at all like maybe you were kind of cheating on Nikki by doing that?
I felt strange. I felt like, the first time I was with Nikki, I felt weird. First time,
Sure.
And then the last time I was with Shanann, I felt totally strange. I was just like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I had become. I felt like I had become people I see on TV, and that did not feel right with me. Like I didn't know what had happened to me. So Nikki even asked me like, have you done this before? Have you ever strayed away? I'm like, I've never even thought about it. It's like, what's different? It's like, I guess it's just you that's different, because I just never actually, like, I've seen girls smile at me before, never done anything about it. With her, it was just like, it's like she had a leash on me and she tugged me away. As soon as she walked, I'm like, what the heck is going on? So.
Well, and Tammy brings up a very good point. I wonder if that last time with Shanann having sex had a somewhat of a role in you thinking,
Like a trigger?
I got to do something. I got to say something. We got to have a talk. Something's got to change. Is
Yeah,
that
I
accurate?
Yeah, it felt like it was like maybe like a trigger point or something like you hit the push button on a bomb and it just blows up.
Right.
Just something in my head was just like something was irking. Just like I had to say something.
Okay. So then, exactly what did you say and what happened?
So when I woke her up, and just like, hey, we just gotta talk.
Okay.
And just like I told her, I don't feel compatible. I don't feel like this is gonna work. I just, I don't want to. Like, can we cancel the trip to Aspen? And she had booked a trip that week
Oh.
to go to some like mystery 4-star luxury hotel or something.
Just the two of you or the whole family?
Just me and her.
Okay.
And she had Amanda Thayer couldn't watch the kids that weekend or something.
Okay.
And I was just like, can we cancel that? Can we like do something? Like, from what I remember, I even said, can we move to Brighton just to get away from like this house?
Oh.
But like, I'm not sure if that was like in the beginning or the end of part of the conversation or whatnot. That conversation went so many different ways. Like they had gone from like staying together to not staying together to just like all of the above.
Okay. So this is half an hour, what?
Definitely not more than half an hour. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think.
Are you crying? Is she crying?
It's back and forth. It's like, she's got mascara. She didn't wash her face when she got home. So she had makeup on still, so mascara was running all over her and stuff like that. And yeah, it was nothing about that conversation. I just wish I could take all of it back. Just the whole Nikki thing back, everything. But
So then when did it turn?
as far as that conversation, it's at the end when I was telling her like I told her I didn't love her anymore. That's when it happened.
What happened?
She told me to get off her, and then I put my hands on her.
Okay.
Did you say she said something like that you were hurting the baby or something?
That was before that, because when I was straddling her, it was kind of like around her waist type deal.
Why did you get on her like that?
I just when we got on the bed, that's just where I got on.
Is that so she would listen to you?
I felt like she could probably listen to me just laying beside her, but I got on top of her. And every time I think about it, I'm just like, did I know I was going to do that before I got on top of her? I don't know.
Really? That's an interesting thought, Chris. You don't know if you knew.
Just like everything that happened that morning, I don't know, like I try to go back in my head, I'm just like, I didn't want to do this, but I did it. And everything just kind of like,
Felt like you had to?
it just felt like it was, I don't even want to say it felt like I had to, it just felt like there was already something in my mind that was implanted that I was going to do it, and then I woke up that morning, it was going to happen, and I had no control of it.
You never thought about it before?
It was just like, I don't want, like when, like you said, like in the sentencing hearing, that prosecutor said it takes 2 to 4 minutes for something like that to happen. Like why couldn't I just let go? I didn't.
Oh, that's interesting.
I couldn't just let
Was
go.
it feeling like it was in motion and you just couldn't stop it?
Yeah, it was just like, I don't even want to know what she saw when she looked back at me, honestly.
Did you look at her? What was she doing?
She wasn't fighting.
Why do you think she wasn't fighting?
I don't know, maybe she was praying, maybe she was just. Now I read the Bible, it said, where the scripture says, don't forgive these people for they do not know what they do. Maybe she was saying that. I don't know what she was saying in her head, but she, like when you guys told me, like, take off your shirt and check for defensive wounds, and there wasn't going to be any. She didn't fight. I don't know why.
Like she didn't grab, could she grab your arms or were her arms pinned down or?
Not that I remember. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think like I moved to where my knees were around her arms or anything. But it was just kind of like when I got on top of her, we started talking. That was it. It's kind of like in my head, or like in the back of my head, that was going to happen. And just like at the end of the conversation, it was just like, that's what happened.